This is Visionary New Earth Leaders podcast, empowering visionary healers, entrepreneurs, and ex-corporates who are ready to actualize their fullest potential through expanding their consciousness and embodied leadership. I'm your host, Jenny Lyon Rainbow Anderson, New Earth business mentor, channel, and master healer, leader of my own business with 20 plus years experience in energy work, mentorship, and coaching. I'm a married mother of two, based outside London in the UK. In Visionary New Earth Leaders, we are going to share about world-leading, cutting-edge tools of energy transformation, intuitive and soul-led business and marketing strategies, and innovative, groundbreaking thought leadership, paving the path into the new earth. So if you're ready to step into leadership, this is the vortex supporting leaders and CEOs into the new earth. Hello and welcome to Visionary New Earth Leaders, episode 21. So congratulations for being here. If you are a listener who come back episode after episode, thank you so much for your support. And if you're new to the show, just dive into all the episodes and binge on the ones that you haven't watched or listened to yet. So today we are talking about how to achieve self-mastery through the 7 levels of embodied leadership. So I developed this methodology about a year ago now, and it's actually a methodology that I take my private clients through in particular. And it's also a methodology that I'm using myself to achieve self-mastery. And what does self-mastery means? Well, to me, self-mastery means that you are managing and mastering all the levels and areas of your life to a very high standard and very high level. That includes your emotional health, your physical health, your business, living your purpose, having great relationships, having an abundance of opportunities, clients and money. Everything is great, basically. Your life is good. And I call that self-mastery. And to come to that stage or achieve that level of self-mastery, obviously that comes with a commitment to creating it, because we all come into Earth and to families and situations with our own sort of baggage and karma and situations and trauma and things like that. So we all, on an individual level, have a responsibility really to create an amazing life. And that comes with learning about where things are not going so great in our lives, and then learning what we can do about it, and then taking action and changing it, investing time, money and your energy into actually changing your life. So that's self-mastery. Now, I use the 7 levels of embodied leadership, and you may have listened to the other episode. I think it's episode 3 or 4. It's in the beginning of when this podcast was created. So you can go back and listen to the 7 levels of embodied leadership episode, and I explain more in depth what the different levels are. But I will take you through them today as well. And I want to showcase really what is available to you and what is possible for you. And if you're interested in creating self-mastery in your life, I want to just share how I created self-mastery and how I help my clients create self-mastery so that you can do the same. And I'm going to take myself as an example and describe the different things that I have done and the things that I've tried and what didn't work and what worked, etc., and take you through all those different steps so that you can make a conscious decision to do the same or to come and work with me in one of my programs. Okay, so let's get started on the 7 levels. So the first one is health. And when I say health, I mean spiritual, emotional, physical and mental health. All the levels of health that we can address. And how did I get started with this? Well, I had a really strong interest actually in health from a fairly young age. You know, I liked sport. I did swimming, horse riding, I liked physical activity as a child. I was skiing, ice skating. I have been going to the gym for many years. I don't go to the gym at the moment, actually, but always into activity. So that's like on a physical level. I also was really interested in cooking and food from a young age. And I have a qualification in nutrition and holistic well-being. So like I'm really into the whole sort of nutrition and health area. And it really interests me. Like I really enjoy doing it, and I enjoy trying different recipes and cooking and doing detoxes and cleanses and things like that to keep my body vibrant and, and really healthy. So that's one thing. Spiritual health, obviously, I am very into energy clearings and using divine healing. I have healers that work on me. I have mentors. I never really feel unsupported in this way. I always make sure I have support to be at my best, so to speak. And when it comes to my mental health, I feel very mentally stable. But there was a time actually when I had a dark night of the soul, and my health was really challenged actually. So I had to sort of get the big guns out. I had support in so many different levels. I had light body support, I had divine healing, mentorship, I had business coaching, I had nutritional help, I had shiatsu, acupuncture, I had I had all the different support that I needed physically, mentally, spiritually and emotionally when I wasn't very well. And that's kind of something I would never really compromise on. I was lucky enough to have the money to invest in everything so that I could, keep myself well. And that was like priority for me. So health has always been, a real big, sort of a big thing for me. So when I work with my clients, we always check in how their physical, mental and emotional and spiritual health is doing. And then I will then recommend different tools or different things that I've been using, or different detox programs, or specific, gentle exercises they can do for different things. Because I'm also a massage therapist, I've got anatomy and physiology. I'm not a physiotherapist, but I understand the movement of the body. So I'm also got a Pilates education. So I know a lot about the body. So when my clients are not feeling great, I'll be able to sort of help them, in every way. And this is something I'm really proud of. I love working with the health with my clients, as well as their unlocking their, highest potential and everything else. So, but it starts with the health, because if your emotional health, if you feel triggered and you don't have, you feel like you don't have emotional intelligence, and you have trauma responses, and you feel emotionally sort of unstable, we might be going through the menopause and things like that. It's really hard to run, a soulful business when we are not feeling great. It's not that easy actually. And your health is like the very foundation of your business as well. So this is why this is the first level in the 7 levels of embodied leadership. So the way I look after myself at the moment is I have very healthy food, and I do detoxes now and then. I take all my supplements that I need to take to support my post-menopause. I'm sort of finished now. I don't have any sweats or anything like that anymore. I don't feel overwhelmed like I used to when I had the menopause. And I feel really good, actually. I exercise every day. I go in my hot tub. I have a massage regularly. I do lots of good things for my body and my mind and my spirit. I spend times with my family outside. We connect and we do long walks. We go on bike rides. So I keep myself active, and I do it together with my loved ones. And it really helps me, it really helps me, make me feel really good. I walk 10,000 steps every day. So this is like a big thing, right? This is a big thing of your business, it's your health. So let's move to the next one. So that was, if you ever need any, help with this, obviously in my programs, I will assist my clients to address whatever it is. If I can't help it, I will kind of know where to go and send them and help them with that, with whatever is going on, and they can then get that sorted. And could be anything from digestive health and things like that. So I've got very, very broad knowledge on this. Okay, so the next step is wealth. And when I talk about wealth, of course, I mean external wealth, like, you have a really comfortable home, you have good cash flow in your business, you have all the things, you can go on holiday when you want, you can buy nice organic food, you have all the financial support that you need. But of course, the wealth comes from an internal place of feeling wealthy too. So often when my clients find it hard to manifest money and external wealth, we always look at the internal world, what is really going on. And money loves like masculine direction, intention, and grounding. It's almost like when we allow ourselves to be decisive and unapologetic with what we actually want, money finds its way to you easily, because manifestation comes from being very grounded and stable in your energy. And when we don't feel grounded and stable in our energy, that's the root chakra, by the way, and the second chakra, your sacral, we just feel kind of floaty, and it feels unsafe to be here. It doesn't feel safe. So it's kind of like money loves this grounded feeling of safety and feeling really harmonious and decisive in your energy. And that comes from emotional intelligence and being healed from trauma and things like that. I also look at the emotional relationship people have with money, because we manifest from emotions of gratitude, feelings of overflow, feeling safe, feeling that you have everything, and then being really decisive in your manifestation process. You can manifest money easily, but that comes from that place of wholeness. So when people start freaking out and they feel fear, they're ungrounded, which is like an internal feelings of not feeling safe internally, it radiates out into the ether, into the matrix, and you will receive exactly what you radiate, which is not feeling safe, not feeling grounded, not feeling supported, and then the money can't find the way to you. So it's an internal job to create external wealth, plus your programs and offers that you're selling. Obviously, it needs to be aligned with what you do. You need to love your work so that you can sell your programs with ease and feel really good about that. And then people buy them, and then you have money. So it's like, it is this internal job that has to happen, as well as a decisive masculine sort of energy about that you deserve to have everything, and that you unapologetically are claiming it. Like a baby, a baby will like unapologetically claim food and getting changed and being cuddled to sleep. It doesn't sort of think about it and go, oh, should I ask for my milk, or should I ask for sitting, being with my mum and being cuddled, or go to sleep and being cuddled up. It doesn't. It just screams and just claims it now, basically. So I'm not saying it screams, but it asks for it unapologetically. All right. So I'd like you to think of claiming your right to be wealthy in the same way as the baby will do it, because they just do, and it is your birthright to feel safe and have everything in overflow and feel really good, harmonious, balanced, and in a really good emotional regulated place. So that's wealth. So the way I've created wealth in my own life, I was never not feeling sort of wealthy. I think I was kind of neutral to the fact of wealth. I never thought of myself as a wealthy person as such. I kind of wasn't really connected to it. I just was quite adventurous when I was younger, so I'd like to just go and doing things. I had very little fear though. So I suppose not having lots of fear just makes you a good manifester, because you just kind of go for stuff without feeling fearful and you're kind of claiming it. But what I did in 2008, so my first big investment, 2018, was in a money mindset coach, actually, an energetic money mindset coach. And I paid at the time $6,500. So that's about £5,500, £6,000 to work with her. And so that was amazing, because I learned so much about rewiring my story, rewiring my brain, clearing my subconscious, creating an enormous sort of open space to receive more money, clients, opportunities and everything. It was amazing. So obviously I passed this knowledge to my clients, and if they want to work on money stuff, we can. I have some money courses as well, actually. But so that was, one of my things. I have invested a lot in my growth. That's just one thing that I am invested in, but that's really helped me to create the constant flow of income in my business and in my life. I'm open to receive everything. My husband is very generous. We have generous relatives. Like, everything feels really harmonious and really flowing. And I believe that's a combination of my own, obviously, action, but also my own investment and a conviction that, I deserve everything. So it's obviously what I teach my clients as well. So I had to heal some trauma. I had to heal some money trauma as well. So we had a big poverty ancestral line in my family. And I also have cleared some money stories from this life, my parents and how I was growing up, just rewiring everything, And yeah, it feels really good. It's just going to get better and better, And it's definitely worth your time, your effort, your money to invest in this way. So that's the wealth one. The next one is power. So I used to feel quite disempowered, actually. So my whole life, up until I was probably about 30, 35, I felt quite disempowered. I wouldn't always stand up for myself. I wouldn't really sort of claim my spot. I would be quite submissive with friends, family, partners, male partners that I had before I met my husband. And not in a way where I was abused or anything like that, but just kind of submissive, accepted things that I really didn't agree with, just disempowered, basically. So when I started to do the work that I do, which is soul contract readings, divine healing, mentorship, business, light body activations, all the coaching that I've had, I've definitely claimed back my power. And I think the first time where I really felt like I was, really claiming my power back, it was one of the celebration of beings where I went to one of the workshops over a weekend. So it's like a 4-day intensive, very somatic, very cathartic experience. And it was it's called The Goddess, this particular workshop. And I remember actually feeling through my body like the disempowerment coming out. It was quite astonishing, really. So I've done a lot of deep inner work, a lot of shedding, a lot of letting go of patterns, behaviors, DNA programming, ancestral, like that I don't need and that I don't stand for and that I don't want to pass on to my to my children and to my bloodline. So my power really came back. So I also have in my soul contract 2 10-1s. And the 10-1 stands for, actually it's a masculine Archangel Michael energy, but it's also masculine, quite powerful leadership energy. And that was the one that was disempowered. So I had that, or have that in spiritual karma, which means that I was quite disempowered. And I was also bullied at school. And, it's another way of being disempowered, being bullied at school, not being able to stand up for yourself. And that happened. But through all the work that I've done and all the workshops and being, a coach and a mentor and a healer myself, I really do not feel I have a problem with power. So when I say power, obviously, I don't mean misusing power. It's about feeling that you have, and this is an embodiment thing. This is not an intellectual piece. It's knowing and feeling on a deep, deep level that you have everything inside of you that you could ever need to create exactly what you want. It's a deep, deep sense of self-confidence, a deep, deep sense of feeling so powerful from within that no one can take it away from you. And that comes only from actually going through the work, clearing any sort of karma, trauma, clearing sort of programming. Like, it literally come with the energy work. It's like you can't read a book and become that person. It really has to happen through the energy work. And I think a lot of people misunderstand this. They said, oh, I've read these 2 books and, I'm doing meditation and visualizations. And it's like, well, that's not really enough. That's not actually going to make you embodied in this area. It only comes from working with someone else who literally helps you shed that piece, that skin, cry yourself through that sort of trauma or release or whatever it is, literally feeling in your body how the cells are changing. That's embodiment, It doesn't come from a little bit of reading and sort of walking meditation or visualization. That's just scratching the surface. And the reason I say this is that I think a lot of people have a perception of that deep inner work is hard, or that it's uncomfortable, or that it's scary. But it isn't. It really isn't. It's quite easy, and the energy shifts really easily. It leaves the body quickly. And it is not hard, because when you invest in a mentor, if you came to work with me, I hold your space. It's not difficult. It's very, very relaxing, and it's very safe. So it's not hard. Is it scary? Not really. You may just have a feeling of going back to that trauma where you decided to clear a trauma that was not so good for you. And you go back there and feel the feeling for about 10 seconds. And then we take that out and clear it out and replace it with something new, a new energy. So no, it's not scary. It's really easy. So I think the perception, the ego wants to stay stuck. So the ego wants to stay stuck, and the ego says, oh, that's too scary because that's going to change. And then what's going to happen? So it's kind of like a misconception and misconception of what it actually involves and what it means and what happens, etc. So I'm just here to reassure you that it's easy, it is not scary, and it's quite quick. You just want to, feel committed that you want to invest the time and the money and investing, in yourself to actually get yourself there. So that's power. The other thing which is really interesting with this work is that once it's done, it's done. And no one can take my power away. what I am and what I've embodied, nothing can break it. Nothing can take it away. So, this is, it's like investing in a gold mine, you are the gold mine. The next thing is relationships. So relationships is obviously something that we all really want deep, loving, amazing relationships. And unfortunately, a lot of people are in toxic, unfulfilling, and even, misaligned, unhappy relationships. And we're not really meant to be doing this. We're meant to have really happy, aligned, fulfilling, deep, loving, and really rewarding relationships. So why are relationships toxic? Well, first of all, the toxicity or the triggers and those things, when people feel that and when they happen in their lives, the triggers only happens because you are meant to look at what is triggering you and heal it. So often people come together so that they can heal themselves, raise in vibration, and become better in their self-mastery. So if, for example, if somebody's triggering you, you're meant then to go to a mentor or a healer, or you can come to me, and we can then work on those triggers, because they are normally trauma responses. So they will be some trauma responses from the past that makes you feel triggered in this particular way. And then we can clear them, and then the relationship will change. Now, if you are in a toxic relationship, which is something that you manifested, it could be that breaking free from that relationship is your number one goal, and actually move on. Because if you are then committed to your deep inner work and to improve your own self, how you are in relationships, and the other person is not, then it's not going to be a good match. So you have to kind of move on. But that could be a tricky thing, right? If it's a toxic relationship. But you're really meant to move on and create healthy and fulfilling relationships. Now, how did I do it? So I didn't particularly have toxic relationship, but I think that often I manifested, because I was so much in my masculine, I often manifested men. This was before my husband. Often manifested men who were, I suppose, a little bit dismissive. Sorry, not dismissive, submissive. Not submissive in a weak way, but kind of, I was dominating sort of thing. And I think I remember I think I was 17, and I was really heartbroken once. And I made an internal decision to never have to experience that again. And it just made me sort of have the upper hand in relationships, and I kind of call the shots. That is not the case with my husband, because I don't think he would like that. We are very, very sort of like neutral, like on a joint, pathway together. But up until my relationship with my husband, I think that was the case. They were not necessarily toxic, but I created a role in those relationships so that I could keep in control. And I have 7s as well, so I wanted to control the situation, I suppose. I have 7s in the soul contract. So with my husband, he has done a lot of deep inner work, and so we are on a good sort of level with each other. Obviously, he's not doing what I do, and that's absolutely, I'm very happy with that. It'd be a nightmare, I think, if we both were obsessed with personal development. He does what he does, but he really has evolved, and he has created some really great emotional intelligence. He's a very, very well-rounded, modern, divine, masculine man. And that's kind of, I think, what most women want. So I've created this by doing this work. He went on my recommendation to different things and sort of embraced the personal journey and the growth, and how to become a better father, how to become a better husband, how to become a better lover. He really embraced the journey. And without him doing it, I don't think it would have worked out, long term between us. But he is, so when I say in our relationship that I'm living self-mastery, I am. I've created this through this deep inner work, and I often help my clients to manage, it sounds awful, doesn't it? But help them to navigate that pathway with their husbands in relationship, because often when you're on the spiritual journey and maybe your husband or your partner is not kind of catching up with you, it feels a little bit disjointed and it feels difficult because it doesn't feel like you're on the same page. And I help my clients with this so that they feel more harmonious in their relationship, and also allowing this other person who is their husband or partner to actually be who they are. So we do a lot of work around that if that is what they need. Now, when it comes to relationships in business, I believe a non-toxic business environment and embodied sort of leadership in business creates great relationships with like-minded business officials, if you like, or associates or other entrepreneurs that you want to be working with. And it's only like, when these other people are doing the deep inner work as well, it just means that you are vibrating on the same vibration, and you really get on, basically. I went to London yesterday, actually, and I met one of my online connections, and she has done some deep inner work. Like, she's really been purging, and it's now time for us to do some sort of venture this year, and we will be doing it. But it will be impossible for me to work with anyone who's not started. They don't have to have done exactly what I've done, but who hasn't started this development journey of, self-mastery. It'd be just a mismatch, basically. It wouldn't really work. So it's very important that when you choose your business relationships, that the person is also on your level with the things that you're doing, maybe in their own way, or maybe they're using the same tools. But I find it usually is really tricky for me to do any sort of business venture with any person unless they have also mastered a certain level in their 7 levels of the embodied leadership, because it's just a vibrational mismatch, basically. So that's the relationship. Now, the next one is communication. So I'm talking to you from my own perspective here because it kind of makes sense, and also maybe you can relate as well. So I used to not speak up, and I used to not be in my power, with my throat chakra. I used to, as a child as well, particularly, gosh, I never said anything. I kept everything inside. I wouldn't speak up. And through the deep inner work and learning all the things that I am doing, working on my own communication through divine healing. I mean, even in the light body activations, we have some vow breaks about not, clearing up, not speaking your truth. And there's lots of different vow breaks in divine healing as well, where we clear up any communication issues that you may have. It could also be past life persecution. So if people have been persecuted in past lives from speaking the truth, then they will feel really blocked in their throat chakra and feel really blocked in their communication to really speak up. And it basically hinders them, it hinders them in their leadership, because if they're not speaking up and speaking from their heart and their truth, they're not leading to their highest ability. Okay, so communication is big. I also advocate a non-violent communication, which is about really acknowledging the needs of the other person when you are presenting something. Because when you only think about yourself in a communication situation and not taking in, empathically feeling into what the other person actually also needs, it becomes an egocentric sort of communication. It only comes from your perspective. So I'm very good at helping my clients to see both sides and develop really good ways of communicating, asking for what they need, and moving forward. Being very strong communicators. That it really benefits them and their other person as well. So this is also, with clients, you need to be able to communicate really where you stand, your boundaries, what to say in what situations, when to reveal certain things to clients and when to hold it back a little bit because they're not ready to hear it yet or whatever. It's about using almost intuitive and emotional intelligence to choose the right words, very sort of conscious word choosing. And this is obviously, that comes quite easily once your level of consciousness is really rising. So when you become more conscious, this is especially with the light body activations. So I need to say this actually, we are enrolling to light up your inner CEO, which is the light body program. And we start that one on the 26th of March this year, 24. So if you're interested, just, apply through the page. I'll drop the link below. But the light body activations are really, really profound in allowing you to open up the ceiling to higher consciousness. And as soon as you start opening up the ceiling to higher consciousness, it's almost like you can't allow yourself to not be in your truth anymore. It's like you can only be in your truth. And then you've got to find ways of communicating with your truth. And it could be a little bit of a tricky journey to start with because you're not used to communicating your deepest truth in a non-violent way. When we communicate from a triggered space, the words and the way we say it can come out aggressively or come out in a really toxic way. And this is what we want to avoid, right? So we want to learn how to communicate in a non-violent way and really do it from a place of truth and self-preservation as well. So that's the communication. So yes, I do help. So when I work with my clients with the 7 levels of embodied leadership, we don't sort of go through each level and then go, oh yes, no, now we only work on health for like 3 weeks. And now we only work on wealth for 3 weeks. It doesn't really work like that. We actually measure where you are on each level. And so some of the clients are like, oh, we need to work on my relationships again with my business partner so that I can make better business decisions, so I can make more money, sort of thing. Or they might say, oh, this week, damn, it's been really, I felt really blocked, in my power. What's going on? And then we work on that. So it's more like a non-linear process, but we always check where you're scoring on each level each time. So that makes it easier to sort of detect where we need to work on something within you. So the next one after communication is intuition. So this is like your third eye. And if you haven't noticed, health is your root chakra, wealth is your sacral chakra, power is your solar plexus, relationship is your heart chakra, communication is your throat chakra, and intuition is your third eye. So you all have a really good level of intuition, but you might be blocking yourself. And I always say this with intuition. Intuition is your secret weapon. It's like your internal navigation tool to help you make decisions in your business, to make good choices, to anything from launching your next program, to knowing when to take a specific course, knowing when to present that bit of sensitive communication to your partner. Like, you use your intuition in every level of your life, like in every area of your life, when to, like how to tune into your children so that you can communicate in a non-violent way with them so that they don't get triggered, etc., etc. Like, it's like the intuition is so important. So what happens is with intuition, I think you probably are using your intuition, and you want to use it more and trust it more. A lot of people feel like they can't trust their intuition because they kind of don't have evidence, or they feel like, they just feel like they can't trust it. And my advice here is that you start using your intuition on small things in your life, such as, I don't know, like thinking somebody's going to ring you and tuning into someone, so telepathically using your intuition, and then they ring you, or like, just like little silly things that doesn't really matter. You can start testing your intuition on these things and see, or perhaps you could do a little game with someone else where you hold up a specific card or a specific image, and then the other person needs to guess it, or the other way around. So like you can test your telepathic psychic abilities on what's on this picture and the colors maybe. And if you are, dead right on it, that you are, straight onto it. So you can try little silly things that doesn't matter and then go bigger. So the way I use my intuition is in my business, I will, on a sort of monthly basis, I tune in. So actually in the Connect Soul Club, we do channel, plan and strategize call for the clients or with the clients. And basically what that means is that we use our intuition and we are channeling what each individual are meant to be doing that month in their business to make most progress, to feel most aligned, to make the most money, to do all the things that is great, that feels good, creative and joyful in their business. So we use intuition there. I also use my intuition on a daily basis. So for example, now I'm recording this podcast, and normally I record podcasts on Fridays, but it's Thursday today because I came in from my walk and I was like, I need to talk about how I achieve self-mastery in my life and how I help my clients do the same through my 7 levels of embodied leadership. And it just felt really good. And I just want to talk about it today. So I'm doing it. And I don't know what that's going to make how that's going to make a difference. But the way I feel it's going to make a difference is that I feel really good right now talking about it. And therefore, I believe that was the right decision. It doesn't have to be on a Friday. It's Thursday today. And that's cool, right? I know that's a really small, minor thing, but I'll allow my intuition to lead me in my business. So how did I get better intuition? So my intuition was always good, but since doing the deep inner work, the light body activations, and like really raising my vibration, basically, my intuition is second to none. It is like laser sharp. My psychic abilities are really, really powerful. I can connect with my clients' blueprints and help them and guide them through my psychic abilities. I can tune into the future. I can tune into people's health. I can see where the blockages are in somebody's body. I can, I just live my life like this, This is how I also coach and support and help my clients. So they often come to say, I have this problem and I want to work on these things. But what happens is, because I use my psychic abilities, we can uncover, another sort of 100% of something else that they didn't even think was possible. And it's amazing because they get such good results because we're also using, our intuition and psychic abilities. And often what happens is I get a download or I get a vision or I see something and I present it to my clients and I ask them, is this how you feel too? And I'm like, oh my God, it's exactly how I've been feeling, but I haven't been able to put my words to it. So that's just then a confirmation that the way I sort of laser in is right. And then they feel good because they're like, oh, she really understands me. She gets exactly where I am because that feels sort of dead right. But yeah, it's just kind of reassuring. But yeah, so start with little silly things to get started. That would be really good because then you get more confident with it as well. So the next thing is mission. So the mission is your crown chakra. Mission and purpose. So obviously purpose, that was something I was struggling with before I had my soul contract reading. So when I had my soul contract reading, I think that was in 2008 or something like that. It was before I had my daughter. And that really sort of opened up the floodgates, because finally a person, Nicholas at the time, like, he told me, this is your purpose, Jenny. This is what you're here to do. I was like, oh my God, it's exactly what I feel like I should be doing. But it is the first time somebody actually told me I am capable, I'm meant to be doing it, and this is all about me being what I do now, really, a mentor, a spiritual catalyst and a leader, and changing the world, and spiritual teacher, and a guide. So it didn't feel like that at the time, by the way, but I worked through all those disempowerment issues and feelings of not being good enough and imposter syndrome and all that, to get to where I am now. So your mission, it's almost like when people are disconnected to their purpose and their mission, they just feel like something is missing. They don't feel like they are living at the fullest potential, because they're not. And I think I would probably say that 90% of the world's population might even feel this way, because they haven't actually found this real deep purpose and groove with their lives. And that's what we are here to help them with, right? So if you're a spiritual coach or a spiritual healer or a mentor, you're really here to help and guide people to become, more, as I am, to live more on purpose and, to live in alignment with your mission. And what is a mission, really? Well, it doesn't have to be coaching, healing and mentorship just because I'm doing that. It could be a mission to be a teacher for children's school, it could be to work with animals, or it could be a mission to create beautiful fashion design. It doesn't have to be a sort of in a healing capacity. It could be in any capacity. Even, I'm so grateful for the society that I live in, because I look at the people coming emptying my bin. I mean, I know that sounds really like, who would love to dream to do that job? But maybe at that moment in that person's life, maybe that person works for a long time to empty bins. I don't know. But if they were working, let's say, for 2 or 3 years emptying the bins for people, well, maybe that's exactly what they're meant to be doing at that time, for that time. It's like there is a purpose to everything. There is a meaning to everything. So this is a meaning to everything that happens in this world. Everyone has a place, everyone has a meaning, and everyone has something to fulfill. And it doesn't have to be, astronomical. It can be a small thing, which is beautiful. So everyone has their place to fit into the puzzle. Okay, so that was all the 7 levels of embodied leadership again. And I really would like you to consider what self-mastery means to you. I really would like you to consider if you want to improve your health, mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical health, if you want to increase your wealth, if you want to amplify your power, if you want to improve your relationships, if you want to advance in your communication, and if you want to amplify your intuition, and if you want to align to your mission, then I invite you to come and work with me in my quantum mentorship. So the quantum mentorship you can do on a personal level. So like we talk a little bit less about business, because we're working with you, because you are the business anyway. And we can do it in a business capacity as well, where we still will work through the 7 levels of embodied leadership, but we're also looking at lots of different aspects of your business. And I use my intuition and my psychic powers to actually tap into your business blueprint. And then we decide on some new strategies and some new ways for you to move in your business so that you can create better results, more opportunities, more income, all those things. So I'm here for you. You can apply for this quantum mentorship via the link. You can have a look there and see what time you can pick for your application, because we need to have a chat really before we dive into this. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed this deep dive. This is a bit of a long episode today, but I hope you enjoyed it. And I wish you a wonderful, start of this year, 2024. And I can't wait to see you in the different places where we meet, social media, or if we meet here on the podcast. And I wish you a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful rest of your week. Thank you for listening to Jenny Lyon's Visionary New Earth Leaders podcast. If you're ready to rewire your subconscious mind, clear your programming and collective conditioning, transform your trauma into trust, and step into your soul's calling and true leadership, or if you're ready to unlock your fullest potential through activating your light body and expand your consciousness exponentially, detangle and clear your past life karma and Akashic records, and setting up for success, launch your online spiritual business, and so much more, then go to jennylyon.love. And if you're receiving value from the show, I would love if you would share it with a friend and give it a 5-star review. Also, you can join me in one of my live free trainings, and you can find it right on the website, as well as in the link in my bio across all social media. I am Jenny Lyon across all platforms. I wish you a blessed day, and may you live your most authentic self.